With BattleBit V2.0 launching this week, there's been a ton of changes to the game that has really thrusted new class, weapon, and gear combinations into what may be considered the meta of the game. The Assault class in particular saw a lot of changes that really piqued my interest. So I got straight to work testing some stuff out, and this is the result here today. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today we are diving into my go-to recommended loadout for aggressive play on the Assault class. So folks, as soon as I saw the patch notes for Update V2.0, including things like, bandage self-healing, and the Assault class now getting access to some weapons like the P90, AS Val, and the Groza, my brain immediately went into overdrive with possibilities. The Assault class for a long time has featured many class-specific buffs that I've always wanted to take advantage of in-game, but with the lacking ability to self-heal, I always felt that the role was better achieved by the medic regardless. But now that that's no longer a problem, I got to work min-maxing the Assault class for my mover schmover shoot first ask questions later playstyle. Just before we get too far into the video here folks, I did want to quickly mention a pretty big announcement. I will not only be participating in the BattleBit Remastered Twitch Rivals event that is taking place on August 9th at 12 PM PT, but I will also be the captain of a squad featuring myself, FPS Decimal, Cults, K-Mind, Loose for Live, Primus1, Hippo Thick, and Mordaru. We are going up against creators from all over the world in a 128 player game of BattleBit, which should make for one hell of an event. I'll be waking up in the wee hours of the morning to make the event, so stop on by the Twitch channel guys, which is linked at the top of the description down below, and cheer us on. It would be greatly appreciated. We are still going to be raising funds for our charity campaign during that event, but during Twitch Rivals itself, I will be turning off the specific challenges that you guys can put me through during that campaign, just to, not be too much of a liability on my team. But anyway, distractions aside, let's get into the loadout here today. It brings me great pleasure to debut the Assault class on the channel here today for a loadout guide, as we've been alluding to throughout this video. In all seriousness folks, there's a lot of little intricate details and gear items to the Assault class that really give it the ability to put the pressure on and go on some mad offensives in BattleBit. A lot of those details have been around since the launch of BattleBit, yes, but only just recently has it felt worth using them in light of some recent changes from Update V2. For those who didn't know, the Assault class comes with the following buffs baked into it by default: a 25% boost to reload speeds, a 20% boost to ADS speeds with close range optics, and a 25% boost to weapon swap speeds. Collectively, these benefits give the Assault class an incredible ability to maintain that pressure and that presence on the battlefield as needed. The ADS speed improvements allow you to more readily get your weapon into a firing position. Those reload speed boosts minimize any downtime and allows you to chain more kills between mags faster, and the weapon swap times allow your rampages to continue to your secondary weapon at an improved speed. There's just a lot to love here. Combine that with the Assault's newfound ability to heal itself with bandages and its expanded weaponry arsenal, and we've got a force to be reckoned with on our hands here. And speaking of its expanded weaponry arsenal, our weapon of choice here is going to be the P90 PDW. It's a weapon that is yet to have a good old spotlight on the channel here, but don't let that fool you folks. This weapon has been in the meta of BattleBit Remastered for a long time, punching up to the likes of the Vector, the FAL, the AK-15, and the MP7. And its addition to the Assault class, oh man, there are some dirty things you can do here. Firstly, the P90 is renowned for its crowd control capabilities and its low downtime given its mag size. Don't let the small stature of the Burt Box fool you here. It may be a PDW, but we are talking about a 50 round magazine here. And to make matters even better, yep, it sports a 3.83 second reload time by default. As far as magazine size to reload time efficiencies are concerned, the P90 is easily, without question, the best in the game hands down. So when you go ahead and throw on the Assault class's passive reload speed improvement, that leaves the P90 with a 2.9 second default reload time, give or take. That's incredible on a weapon with such a magazine size. And it affords you so much in the way of crowd control. But on top of that, the P90 features a 3 to 6 bullet to kill range in close quarters combat, depending on headshots and the armor class of your opponents. Which means that, yep, that's potentially anywhere between 8 to 16 kills per magazine before you need to reload. And holy shit, does that afford you such a great ability to just keep forcing the issue. Oh, and because it's a PDW, we get the added benefit of improved mobility. It's a win-win at every opportunity here. Now, unfortunately, the P90 doesn't sport the best time to kill in the world, but it's certainly serviceable and will hold up to its own in most situations that you place yourself in. Now, when it comes to the attachment options and providing the P90 with just that little bit more, it's going to come down to further improving the weapon's accuracy and the reload speed to really dial up that aggression to 11. Obviously, a 1x sight of your choice is going to be the clear decision here, but the barrel attachment may come as a surprise to some. Hell, it may even be a controversial recommendation by some community members here in the comments. But allow me to explain my reasoning here. The SDN6-762 barrel gets the P90's accuracy to an 80.00 flat, which is an insanely good accuracy stat by accounts of all weapons in the game that makes the P90's cone of fire incredibly reliable to use. And given that the recoil is so minor, cone of fire is going to be the primary factor in you missing your shots with the P90, at least in my opinion. However, it does lightly impact the damage of the P90. On paper, it doesn't sound like that much of a hit. A damage reduction from 28 to 27.44 shouldn't be that big a deal, right? It still keeps the weapon confidently in the 4-shot kill bracket against unarmored targets. What could possibly go wrong here? Well, unfortunately, the SDN6-762 does put the P90 on a 5-bullet to kill against light armored targets, up from 4, but it also, most importantly, sheds the P90 of its 3-shot headshot against normal helmets and bumps it up to a 4-shot kill. It's not the ideal trade-off, and given that the P90's baseline time to kill isn't the greatest out there, the headshots normally go a long way to helping out in minimizing that time to kill. So, we are effectively giving up a lot here for the additional accuracy. But given the P90's minuscule recoil and the fact that you may need to stretch the P90's wings a little bit at times with this kit, that added accuracy, in my experience, does go a long way to improving how consistent the weapon feels. It makes it feel more reliable, and therefore I feel like it's worth the trade-off. But remember earlier how we mentioned how the P90's, magazine and bullet consumption efficiency is just so damn good here on the Assault class? We ain't done here yet. Introducing the Quick Aim Mag, which when combined with the Assault class's passive buffs, comes all the way down to a 2.21 second reload if my math is correct, on a 50-round magazine. And I gotta tell you folks, you would have to be incredibly out of position or unlucky to die solely on the basis that you were mid-reload with the P90 here. Perform a quick reload where you drop the mag on top of that, and you're laughing all the way to the bank. It's an insanely speedy reload. But alright, that's our primary weapon locked in, Eddie. Now we move on to the secondary weapon here, which, look, truth be told, isn't really a secondary weapon at all, and is more just a second primary if you use it right. That's right folks, it's the Desert Eagle's time to rise. Over the last few weeks, I've been coming to really love this pistol because if you can get that aim down pat, man, it is satisfying just walking into a room and deleting a whole squad of dudes that have no idea there with a bunch of cheeky 1-deeks. It's not a weapon for the faint of heart, but if you're up to the challenge, it is a weapon that will reward you in spades. Attachments wise, I'm running the standard red dot sight with a tactical muzzle to boot. This is going to go a long way in helping to bring down that vertical kick that the Deagle sports and cleaning up your sight picture, which is going to go a long way for those follow-up shots on targets should you need more than one shot to deal with a target. Oh, and we've also got the laser sight here for those panicked CQC moments. Keeping the ball rolling here, let's go over our gear of choice for the day. This section is arguably going to be far simpler and straightforward when compared to our last loadout guide talking about the engineer class. With this build, we are rocking the small ammo boxes, the C4, and the impact grenades. The small ammo box does mean that you won't be taking the grapple hooks or sledgehammers for any kind of bonking, but the small ammo box does give you the ability to resupply 2 bandages per box, which, given the new healing mechanics, goes a long way to improving your uptime and getting you back in the fight when you inevitably take some damage. In addition, given our armor choices that we will go over here shortly, you won't have the craziest amount of magazines under your wing, so having that extra top-up available to you on a dime is going to go a long way. The C4 is important just for, busting through walls and creating new flanking opportunities as needed, and the impact grenades are something that I've been having a lot more fun with lately. They're great for just, throwing a grenade at a group of bad guys for a little bit of, instant damage crowd control, but, to each their own really. And finally, we have our armor setup to consider here, and once again, these are some very important considerations to make that will inform the rest of our playstyle with the build. First up, we aren't rocking the medium armor, not the Ranger armor, we're rocking the light armor. Yep, today it is Mobility 101. We are going with the full nimble but incredibly squishy approach here. Again, the goal of this kit is all about pushing the offensive as best as we can, being a thorn in the backside of the enemy team and wiping out a ton of dudes in quick succession. But the way in which we're aiming to do that here is by abusing flanks and quickly darting in and out of positions to get the advantage here. Exploiting flanks to limit the exposure to damage is going to be key as a result. Given that you will be as squishy as you possibly can be, this is the best way to go. And to really double down on that, that's why we're also running the light backpack here as well. This gets you even more mobility to use here and really completes the final picture of just how fast this class can move around the map. The goal here is to really take that mobility and make it hard for the enemy to actually track you down, really become an untraceable pest in a way. But unfortunately, the light backpack does come with one downside as a result, that being no second small ammo box, which is unfortunately going to really limit how often you can resupply your bandages while in action independently of a support class. In my experience, it's been manageable to deal with, but it can be a thorn in your backside at times, and once again, really just emphasizes the need to play the class with flanking in mind to minimize the damage that you take. We are running the medium helmet here though, because we already have a handsome aim down sight speed improvement as it is, so we don't really need to further improve that with a helmet downgrade, and we may as well keep our head a bit safer from headshot damage. But folks, that right there is the loadout from Go to Woe, and look, I gotta be honest folks, I've been having a lot of fun with this thing. With all the changes that came in the recent update, this has really given the Assault class a lot to love for a mover schmover gamer like myself, and yeah, you're gonna be seeing more Assault class guides definitely coming in the future, given the new opportunities that are here for it. But as always folks, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the loadout and on the video folks, your feedback is greatly appreciated. And as always, if you made it this far, hit the like button, it does go a long way to supporting the channel. Also, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all future video releases. Always recommend doing that folks, because why wouldn't you if you enjoy the BattleBit content, right? But for now folks, as always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care guys, have a good one.